Good evening, everybody. It is 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time and a Thursday night, and it's time for Treasure Tales. My name is Jeff Monin, and I'm glad that you decided to join with us tonight. I think we have a pretty good show lined up for you tonight. I know we've got a couple of really top-notch guests for tonight that I think that you will definitely enjoy. Very, very accomplished detectorists, and I think you're really going to enjoy them. They're all around good folks, and I really think that you're going to have a good time tonight. So I hope you stay with us. I hope that everyone had a very, very nice Christmas. I know for us here in Treasure Tales headquarters here in the garden spot of Madison, Florida, it was a beautiful day today. It was about 67 degrees, very, very pleasant from what we have had. Over the Christmas holiday, it was cold. I think our high on Christmas Day was like 40, which here in Florida for us, that's pretty cold. I know for some of y'all up north, it may not be, but I'm going to tell you what, for us in Florida, it was cold. And I know down in Tampa, where Phil is located, it was probably only 50 for the high on Christmas Day. So they were really freezing. I mean, all across Florida, we were very cold. And I know a lot of y'all were a lot colder than we were. And I'm sorry for that. And I know you had a bunch of nasty, nasty weather. And I really hope that it didn't affect many of your plans. I know there's some of you that got stuck with the airlines. And I mean, that's just a mess. I don't know what can be done about that, but the airlines was just an absolute mess this year. And I think there's still some people that are stuck that haven't been able to get to their destination. And it's sad to me that that happened. And so I hope that at least they were able to talk with their loved ones, and it wasn't too bad of a deal. And those of you that traveled, and if you did get back home, I'm glad that you are safe back home, because traveling's always a nightmare. I mean, I had to go into Tallahassee yesterday, and I tell you what, it's always something on the roads these days. I saw there was a big, huge traffic backup on the eastbound lane of Interstate 10, and it was a truck that was pulling a camper. I don't know, maybe a 34-foot um, camper trailer, I would guess. But the truck started on fire. And luckily, the people were able to get out of the truck, but it wasn't too much longer after they got out of the truck that it exploded the gas tank, like boom. So I think everybody was safe, but that's just not a good holiday season for those folks. So, uh, you know, I just hope, and I'm very glad if you did have a good holiday and that you were safe and had a wonderful holiday with your family. And then if you're back home now, that you're safe and sound and everything's good and you're going to be good with us for 2023. It's going to be a pretty good year for 2023, I think. As far as Treasure Talk, we've got a lot of really good things happening on Treasure Talk. Some new things we're going to institute that I think you'll really enjoy, that's in the works right now, um, is something that I know personally I'm anxious to see, and I think possibly you will as well. And there are going to be some changes coming up, yes. As you noticed in the intro, the Digging Canuck has opted out of being a co host on Treasure Tales, and that's fine. We miss her, but she opted out from being a co host on Treasure Tales, so she will no longer be a part of the show. But we wish her well in all her future endeavors. And I know she's got some stuff going on and that I'm not going to talk about. And our heart goes out to her and our best wishes. And uh, I just want everybody to send her best wishes, regardless of what the problem might be. And so, unfortunately, she will no longer be associated with Treasure Tales. and it's our loss. I have to tell you that. And a lot of good things happening. Monday night now on Treasure Talk, you're going to see something very unique. And I've showed it to you a couple times before. And I know one of our guests tonight is absolutely a Deus 2 user. And he's really a top-notch detectorist. But he uses the Anderson shaft for his Deus 2. Now, this is something that he may want to look at. I had this made by Steve's Detector Rods, and he's a good friend of mine. He's going to be our first guest in 2023 on Treasure Talk, and we're going to be talking about this, and soon they will be available at Myers Metal Detectors in sunny Tampa, Florida. And this is what it is. This is an all carbon fiber handle shaft for the Deus 2. I mean, you can see it's collapsed now. So it collapses every bit as small as the stock Deus 2 shaft. It is all carbon fiber. It's very, very light. Lighter than the Deus 2 shaft, which is going some, I must say. But it's a lot stronger. I myself don't have a problem being tall. I know one of our guests tonight is a fairly tall young man. So he might have had some problem with the Deus 2 shaft. When you get it extended, you feel it wander some and wobble. With this one, I do not think that you will have that problem. He's got just top of the line cam locks, just like the Deus 2. And it's all 100% carbon fiber, a molded carbon fiber handle, which is really great. The arm cuff, which is adjustable, is carbon fiber as well. And it's got the Deus 2 to mount your remote control on it. And you can get this one of two ways. I chose to get it as standard. You can also get it where he will have it drilled out where you can run your antenna through the shaft if you so desire. I chose not to do that. But it's got the Deus 2 mounter on there. Plus, it's got the lock for the remote control. I always happen to use a Dan's lanyard for the Deus 2, and I'll show you one of those very quickly. This is the Dan's lanyard for the Deus 2. I happen to use that. It works extremely, extremely well. It is all really top flight product. It is a very strong paracord that goes underneath through the bottom of the Deus 2 remote control. And then it has let me show you here. It has, as you can see, hopefully, it's got a little connector where you can disconnect it so you can remove your remote control for charging or whatever it is you want. And the other part will go around your shaft. So there's no problem if you happen to bump the remote control and it disconnects from the mount, you're not going to lose that remote control. That could be a very, very expensive proposition. So this works very, very well. My brother from another mother, the Mumbles Man, he uses one as well for the Deus 2, as does Phil, uses one on his Deus 2. So it's just an added precaution because, as you know, if you are a Deus 2 user or if you're going to become a Deus 2 user, the constant removal and mounting of the remote control, sometimes it'll get a little loose. And when you're out in the field, whether, say, if you're in the woods or even if you're hunting in the water, sometimes your hand can bump it. And if that remote control comes off, that's about an $800 job right there. And that's something you don't want. So if you spend $20 or $25 for a Dan's lanyard, which is in stock at Myers Metal Detectors, it helps alleviate that problem so you really don't have to worry about it. Now, very soon, the Steve's Detector Rods will be in stock at Myers Metal Detectors, and we'll cover all that Monday night on the show. So no worries there. And like I always say, if Phil doesn't have it in stock, you probably don't need it. So, anyways, that's just one of the things that's coming up. I know soon I should have in my hot little hands another carbon fiber Deus 2 shaft from Detect Ed. I've been in contact with Ed in Australia, and if many of you know, he makes the Detect Ed carbon fiber red belly shaft, and there's just a solid black one. Just outstanding product. Detect Ed makes great product too, as well as Steve's detector rods. And so I should, he's making one for the Deus too, and I should have that shortly as well. So hopefully, when he's on the show at the end of January on Treasure Talk, we should have those in stock at Myers, and I'll have one to show. So, lots of really good things happening in the field of metal detecting. I know Mind Lab's got their products coming out. I know that Phil has some of the Equinox 900 in stock. I don't think he's been notified yet when he's getting the Manticore. I think some people in Canada have already gotten their Manticore, and some other people around the U.S., but I don't think it's widely, available yet. It's going to be a little bit of time. And I don't know about the 700 on the Equinox. I think he possibly has some of those coming in at Myers Metal Detectors, but I do know he's getting his second order of Equinox 900s in. So if you are a Mind Lab user, that's something that you definitely want to look at. It's going to be a really good year in the metal detecting industry because when one comes out with one, others beef up their game. You look at what you've got available now. Probably the most affordable is from Nocta, which is the Legend, which I know Phil's got on special, and I think the Nocta Legend, just the detector, and doesn't include the waterproof headphones, is under $500, I think. So, that's a tremendous, tremendous deal for an absolutely top quality machine. And won't be too much longer in the first part of April, I think, that Team Nocta will be on Treasure Talk. And I'm talking about Dillick, Burek, Dwight, and Kimmy. You can't beat that. That's a pretty good roundup. As far as what we'll be giving away, I don't know at this time. That is yet to be decided, but I'm sure it'll be something exciting. So, like I said, there's lots of really good stuff coming down the pike in the field of hobby of metal detecting, treasure hunting, and as Phil always says, and I happen to agree with this 100%. You, the consumer, are the one that benefits when the manufacturers start coming out and competing with each other. You look at what you have available right now. Within the next couple of weeks, everything will be available. You've got the XP Deus 2, which is my personal favorite, and I have not found anything that detector can't do. Then you have the Mind Lab product, the Equinox 700, 800. I think you got a 600, 700, 800, and then now the 900, and then you'll have the Mind Lab Manticore, which, from what I understand from one of our guests on last Treasure Talk, Lori Gagne, is an absolute killer. And you've got the Nocta Macro. Well, it's not Nocta Macro anymore. It's just strictly Nocta. You've got the Legend, and you still got the Simplex. And there's other things that they're coming out with. Garrett is not far behind. They've got their new Axiom. So that's another really good addition to what's coming down the line. So there's a lot of really good stuff happening, and the one that benefits is you, the consumer. So why don't we go ahead and let's say hello to those that are joining us tonight, and then we can kind of get started and see what's going on. So the first one in this stream tonight was J Metal Detecting. We're glad that you joined us tonight. And then my brother from another mother, Tim, the Mumbles Man Naylor, is in the house. And let's see who else is here. Let me see. This thing's jumping around on me. And let's see. This is a good one. I have not seen this one before, but I'm very happy that they joined us. AJCRX0421. Very nice. Glad that you joined us tonight. Hope you enjoy the show. Andrew T. Good evening, Andrew. How are you? I'm glad you joined us tonight. Detecting Youngstown 330 is in the house, and we are very happy to see that. Very nice young man. And my other brother from another mother, Myers Metal Detectors, the guru himself, Phil Myers. So if I have erred in any way in what I've been talking about, Phil, correct me, please, if I'm wrong. But if you need anything, and like I always say, if Phil doesn't have it in stock, you don't really need it. If you need anything, or if you just have questions about what's coming down the road, or when it will be here, or whatever, call Phil, 813-237-1939. You're not going to get any better customer service anywhere on the planet. You're not going to get a better price anywhere on the planet. So do yourself a favor, call Phil, 813-237-1939, and check it out and see what he's got. He's got everything. He's got some used stuff, and if he doesn't have it in stock, you don't need it anyway. So there you go. And we have Robert Ridgway from Pinellas Park. Hello, Robert. Glad you joined us tonight. And Louis Villarreal, glad that you joined us tonight from Portland, Texas. I hope that you're thawing out there. I know Texas had some pretty bad weather, so I hope that's behind you now and you're getting back to normal, I hope. Maria Reese from Palatka, Florida. She is one of the sweetest people I've ever met in my life. She's a top flight detectorist, and Maria is the type of person who she will never, ever, you will never hear her utter a bad word or anything bad about anybody. She's just nice. She's great, and we love her, and we're just so happy that she's a fan of the show and tunes in all the time. And I've had the honor of detecting with Maria, and let me tell you what, she's killer. She's a very, very good detectorist. So, Maria, we're glad that you joined us tonight. And let's see who else is here. James Frazier. That must be part of the Diggin' Fraziers. He and his wife Rose. Great folks. Great folks. You'll get to see them a little while later, probably in April. I have decided that I was going to do another Sebastian epic trip in April. It's going to be early April. And we're going to have, I rented a house down there, and James Arthur Fraser and his wife Rose are going to be in attendance, as is my brother, the Mumbles man, Tim Naylor. My other very good friend, Rick Tubbleson, is going to be in the house, and James and Rose Fraser. So we'll have 4 groups staying at the house, my wife Susan and I, and we're going to have an epic show on that Thursday night, Treasure Tales, and the guests, wait till you hear the lineup. We're going to have Terry Shannon, we're going to have Mark Littleton, and we're going to have Sid and KT Jones from the Etosha treasure hunting crew. They were there in helping Mel Fisher discover the Etosha, all the treasure from the Etosha. So it's going to be an epic, epic night, and I hope that you will turn in and enjoy that evening with us. So what will happen is at 8 o'clock when we go live, I'll do my introductions. I'll turn the camera around. You'll have Terry and Mark and Sid and KT. They're all going to tell treasure stories. They'll have stuff that they want to show. So it should be an epic, epic night. So we hope that you join us then. Excuse me. Finders Keepers, glad that you are here tonight. Minus 20 wind chill. I don't know where you're at, Finders Keepers, but stay warm. And let's see. Looter 8 Treasure Hunter. Hello, Looter 8. That's a very good channel. Y'all need to check out and watch. They do a lot of bottle digging and metal detecting. So it's just an all around great channel. So do yourself a favor, check out Looter 8 and enjoy yourself. Mandy Brown. Hello, Mandy Brown. Glad that you joined us tonight. Let's see who else is in the chat. Let's see. Team Lynch. You'll get to meet them a little bit later on the show. Thank you for joining us tonight. And let's see. Dirty Paws Detecting. That's Mike and Trish from the Tampa area. Great friends of mine and superb treasure hunters. We're glad that you're in the chat tonight. Surfside Dan. Hey, Dan. He's over in the Carolinas, and I think he does have a manticore. Super talented individual. You're all around great guy. Dan, we're glad that you joined us tonight. Let's see. Who else is here? Joe 4077. Glad that you joined us tonight. Let's see. Let's see. We keep going. It jumps around sometimes, and when you get to be my advanced age, sometimes it's hard to keep up. But I have a reason. I'm old, folks. I'm old. Scott C. Scott, glad that you just stopped by to say hey. Well, Scott C., we're glad that you stopped by to say hey. We're glad to see you. And I think we reached the end of the chat. So what we're going to do now, we're going to bring on our first guest. And if you have not watched this YouTube channel, you are missing out. I mean, this guy, and he's got some fantastic finds he's just recently found on his last video, but he always has some great finds. Very nice young fella, one of the top YouTube channels that you'll ever want to watch. And let's welcome Brian from Savannah Harps. Hello, Brian.
Hello, Jeff.
How are you tonight?
Great. Thank you.
Good. I know it's a little windy here, but you know, I'm an old person, you know.
I'm not that young.
Yeah, but you're a lot younger than I am. But I tell you what, you've got an exciting YouTube channel. I mean, as soon as I see one, you know, I get notified. I'm watching it. And the one I watched this morning it blew me away, Brian. It just blew me away. You know?
I really appreciate that. That's very nice, very kind of you to say.
Well, I mean, some of the stuff you find over there, and I mean, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself to the world? Tell them a little bit about you, your YouTube channel, and we'll go from there.
Well, I'm Brian. I go by Savannah Harps. I live in Savannah, Georgia. So I am in a historic area, but also near a beach. Tybee Island's very close to me where I live. So I get to be metal detect land for relics and history and also on the beach. And sometimes they mix, like that video you mentioned. I was as shocked as you were, or more actually, when I found a 1839 style U.S. belt plate from the American Civil War. I was completely shocked.
Well, I bet you were. I bet you just gobsmacked when that came up because that's not something that you normally would expect to find on the beach. You might expect to find a Spanish real, perhaps, you know, or some shipwreck treasure, but you don't expect to find in almost absolutely perfect condition, you know, buckle.
I was, yeah, I couldn't believe it. You know, I know a bunch, I know a bunch of beach metal detectors. Some of my friends, on Tybee. Some of them have been metal detecting on Tybee for a very long time,
Hmm.
and this is something they've never seen before. Um, I've heard stories of people picking up uh, reals, half reals, 1 reals, 2 reals, Spanish reals, thinking they're rocks, black rocks, and throwing them down. Not, what is this thing?
Yeah, yeah,
Um, that's happened in the past, but ever since they've been re-nourishing the beaches, it doesn't. The old stuff just isn't there. I mean, it's just it's all fresh drops from
yeah, yeah,
the years
yeah.
from that point of renourishment.
Yeah,
So
they keep pounding the sand on, don't they?
yeah, I mean, it's you always have the chance of finding something old from the renourished sand that they pump in from a mile away. That's possible too. So, and I think
If
this
they're
this
dredging.
yes, the dredge, yes.
But if they
So
bring it in from, interior, I know a friend of ours, Terry Shannon, he hunts the Treasure Coast, all the time. And they are just pounding sand on the Treasure Coast. And the problem is, Brian, is they're not bringing it, they're not dredging it, which you could live with because there's, like you said, there's a chance you might find something that they dredged up. But when
right,
they bring this nasty sand from the interior of the state, you know, and
that's
finding 2 or 3 feet of it on there.
yeah, that's probably the worst case scenario.
Is that what
For
they're doing to you over there?
say what?
Is that what they're doing to you over there?
No, they're pumping it in from out in the ocean.
Oh,
They
well,
are
that's
doing that. About two, it's been about 2.5. No, I guess it's been about 3 years ago now. They did this last renourishment, but they did the entire island, the whole beach.
mm,
Their Corps of Engineer came in and pumped in like I don't know how many tons of sand. I mean, it was all the way up and down the entire island.
yeah,
So
that's a lot.
it was a lot. There was a lot of sand. A lot has been eroded away over the last 2 years too. I mean, it
Yeah,
definitely is cut back, but it's still there's still quite a bit of the renourished sand still there. A
yeah,
lot.
yeah. I know they did that on St. Augustine Beach, about 3 years ago, because I hunted St. Augustine Beach quite a bit. And then a friend of mine and I, we went down there, and I walked out there, and there was about an 8 foot drop, where they just stopped, where they were renourishing the beach, and it was an 8 foot cut, to the water.
Yeah.
And it was ridiculous.
Yeah. 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 It's usually in Tybee, the cuts aren't quite that dramatic. I mean, it's very
Yeah,
much erodes much smoother than that. It doesn't all happen at one time. I think I've only ever seen a true cut one time. That was
hmm
2 years ago, actually.
yeah.
It
Well, this
was,
wasn't a good cut, let me tell you.
yeah, yeah,
It was not good at all.
yeah. Yep.
So
But
you
yeah,
folks,
so go ahead.
go ahead, go ahead.
So yeah, I get to metal detect these different, like a lot different types of uh of environments. Um, so a lot of the stuff that I do or metal detect for as far as like relics or on land, um, it around here the place a lot of these sites have already been metal detected. I mean, for years,
Mhm.
metal detectors in Savannah since the 70s. And they found a lot of awesome stuff. So it's hard to find the new sites in Savannah.
Mhm.
So a lot of times I've got a group of friends that I relic hunt with as well that will wait for the construction sites. There's a lot of or the clearings. They'll clear land just outside of Savannah,
All right.
and we'll check that. We'll check the dirt to see if there's anything in it, and if there's not, then there's nothing there. There's nothing there, but sometimes there are some stuff there. So, but that doesn't happen so consistently. So the beach, being so close to the beach, allows me to go often metal detecting.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I do metal detect quite a bit, as much as I can actually. So yeah, I really enjoy it, and that's really about my summary.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Now you're using, I know on your videos you're using the Deus 2. What's your opinion of the Deus 2?
So AS2 is a very high performance metal detector, very high performance. Um, it's a great machine. It's got quirks. There are a few things, especially when you first start using the XP days, you have to get used to.
Uh-huh.
You know, it's a very high performance machine, so it's very sensitive, and it's really a sound type of machine. The sounds are more important than the display.
Right. I
So
agree.
you hear a lot of sound. There's all kinds of sounds coming out of the speakers, especially when you're using the headphones.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you know, it's not something you would be able to pick up overnight, the little nuances and all the different sounds. It does take time to get used to it and some practice. I was very fortunate to have a lot of experience with the XP One,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a very similar detector to the XP 2. So I was able to, the same types of sounds and the same type of machine, really.
Mm-hmm.
But I love it. I think it's a great machine. Um, I have been using the XP 2 exclusively since I got it I think I got it in the beginning of March when I got the 9 inch and the 11 inch.
Right.
So I use the 9 inch quite a bit for relics, and then I use the 11 inch coil for the beach.
Right.
I've heard you talk about the Anderson shaft.
Mm-hmm.
So I use the Anderson shaft, and the biggest benefit of the Anderson shaft for a tall person is that it does extend very far out.
Right.
For in the beach, I don't know a lot of people that I know that metal detect on the beach. They're not as tall as me, but they still extend their shaft out as far as they can. Um, I have a hard time with some of the detectors. The XP two stock shaft was short for me.
Mm-hmm. It was, yeah.
You extend it all the way out. It I did have a problem on the beach because you have resistance with the water, and
Right.
and the coil is heavy. It's a heavy coil for a detector. The overall weight of the dais is very light, but that coil, the 11-inch coil with the coil cover on it, collects some sand. It gets, it can get kind of heavy.
Yeah, it does.
And I don't even use the coil covers anymore. On the beach, it just collects too much sand and too much resistance.
Right.
Um, but I mean, I love it. It it took a little getting used to with the sound. Like I said, it's sensitive. It's noisy on the beach. You get used to the little bit of noisiness. You set it up the right way for your beach, and
Mm-hmm.
it performs better than any detector that I know of.
I agree. I love my Expedeus too, and I have dug on Daytona Beach, which is it's Daytona Beach is unique with the type of sand. It's very gummy sand, and
Yep.
I dug a 28-inch dime. I mean, sometimes it goes deeper than this old person wants to dig. I want to tell you,
I didn't. I unfortunately didn't make it down to Daytona after the hurricanes. At least not yet. But I
yeah,
have.
they're full of
You're,
trash.
they did. They used the days too, and they did really, really, really well.
Yeah,
Um, so it does get very deep. Sometimes too deep, like you said.
I agree.
You better have some. You better have a good back and some strong legs and some strong arms and a
That's
really
true.
good
That is true.
experience.
I know if you were watching, Did you see the new shaft I just got from Steve's Detector Rods?
I did, and I was going to mention. I actually, in one of my videos prior, I can't remember which one. Steve sent me his prototype for just a few days,
Mm-hmm.
and I used it, and I liked it. I sent it back. Of course, I wasn't able to keep it, and I just got mine, like you said there. I've got one too. I haven't put it on my 11-inch coil for the beach yet. I've been using it on land for with my 9-inch coil.
Mm-hmm.
But I had Steve see the Detect Ed and Steve's rods are the two that I use as well, and I
Yep.
like both of them. The Detect Ed's great. However, Detect Ed, um, I'm tall, and
Mm-hmm.
they didn't have an extended lower shaft long enough that I wanted, and they wouldn't make a longer. But Steve, I contacted Steve last year for my Equinox 800. Steve made me some custom length, longer lower shafts. So I had a little relationship with him from that. And then when the Deus 2 came out, I asked him about the Deus 2 and making a shaft because I had the wobble thing going on the beach.
Mm-hmm.
He declined initially. He said, I'm not really interested in doing that. That was back in March. And then recently, what was it? I guess back in August, I, I saw a video with something. I'm like, wait a minute, I need to get one of these. And he was in production, or he was in production, but had the prototype only.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I just got my actual shaft maybe 2 weeks ago, I think, maybe a week and a half, 2 weeks ago, and I love it. It's long, plenty long, very sturdy, very light, and it does very well. And I don't know about Detect Ed's, you know,
Well, that
shaft.
remains to be seen. I talked to Ed and I told him what we wanted. As a matter of fact, that's how Steve got to be making this shaft. As I told him, you need to make a staff, Steve, because it's something that people will definitely buy. So he said, okay, you shamed me into it, so to speak. Which
Yeah,
I'm glad.
I
I'm
like
very glad.
I like Steve's a very interesting guy. He will be a very good guest on your show.
Oh, yeah, he's been on before. He's going to be our first guest in 2023.
Oh, okay.
January 2nd. We'll be talking about this shaft. Now, I haven't mounted anything to it yet, simply for the reason I want to be able to show it, you
Yeah,
know, for the shows. Um,
it's
but
easy. It works great. It collapses just like the Deus stock shaft. It's perfect for
yeah, it's a great
tight
shaft. Great
spaces and
shaft.
stuff. Yeah. Now I
Yeah.
must say I have recently picked up a new Equinox 900, and I've used it twice on the
Uh-huh.
beach so far. I just got it, I think, on Monday. Um, so I'll have some videos coming out with the Equinox 900 as well.
Hmm.
The Manicore I have on order like everybody else. It hasn't come in yet. Um, so my first impression of the Equinox 900 is it's impressive. I think that it's going to make it's it's pretty close as far as performance on the beach to the Days 2.
Hmm.
Um, the depth, the speed. It's they changed the ergonomics of the whole like
Yeah, they needed to.
control module handle and the arm cuff. Um, so it makes a very, very big difference when swinging for more than an hour.
Yeah,
Um,
we're going to kind of remain to be seen about the only things I'm waiting on with the Equinox. And I've had Equinox 800s. I had four of them flood. They
Me
say
too.
now that they're waterproof. We'll find out. And the coil ears. We'll see if they got that. I never had a
Yep.
problem with the arm cuff, but the coil ears I did. So let's hope. I hope, and I think they probably did get everything resolved with that. I know a good friend of ours, Surfside Dan. He's in South Carolina, I believe, and he does have a Manticore,
Yeah.
and he loaned it to Calabash to do some stuff with. So,
Yep.
um,
Yep.
you know,
Yep. Calabash is doing a good job with those videos. I've been talking to him too. He's a friend too. Um, just got bouncing stuff off
yeah,
ideas or whatever,
yeah.
and he's doing a really good job with that the information about the Manicore. He hasn't done too much with the Equinox 900 yet. I think he's going to do more of that, but
I think so. Yeah.
yeah,
From what I've seen,
those are
that's coming.
those are great machines. I mean, this is exciting to be a metal detectorist right now. I mean,
Well,
it's
that's what we say. Both Phil and I at Treasure Talk. You know, the consumer's the one that wins in all this.
yeah.
You know, with
Yeah, I
all
mean,
the three Mind Lab deals, the XP Days 2 and Legend, how can you lose?
there's a I've got a kind of a running joke with some of my metal detecting friends that on the beach especially. Um, over the last few years, we've seen quite a few more metal detectors on the beach.
Yeah.
So we're all, thinking, wow, there's just not that much on the beach to find. All these people finding all this stuff. And, um, they always want to say, like, kind of blame it on me and my videos. But I always say it's the invention of the Equinox. I mean, that machine made it so, the people that metal detect on land could also metal detect on the beach.
Yep.
And it also made it so that you could find really good, awesome stuff without much experience. The thing is so easy to use.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, it's extremely easy to use.
Yeah.
So
So like I say, everybody wins.
it's a
You
high
know?
performance machine. Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
it's going to be. I mean, I hate to say it, outdated here pretty soon, probably, but
Well,
um,
it's kind of like anything, Brian, with your computer. If you buy a new laptop today, within 2 months it's outdated,
oh, I
really.
know. Yeah,
So,
not,
you know,
not as but yeah, I guess it's just the way it is.
yeah, yeah,
Um, yep. I must say though, the 900, it's it's not something like that much better than the 800. I mean, I can tell you that it feels like the 800 in a lot of ways.
yeah,
It's the setup, the tones, everything as far as how you set it up and work the screen is the same. It's
yeah,
very familiar.
yeah.
Um,
Surfside Dan, he made a comment here, and he does have a Deus 2 as well. He said the Deus 2, you become a sound hunter, and with the Manticore, you become a screen hunter, and you'll know what I'm talking about. And
yeah, you
yeah,
get more visual stuff on that Manicore, the 2D screen.
yeah, that's what I understand. So,
Yeah, it is an interesting machine. I'm looking forward to seeing it when getting one. I mean,
well, you know what they say, Brian. Like women say, well, I can never have enough shoes. That's okay, but the guys, you can never have enough metal detectors. You
yeah,
know,
yeah, I'm fine with that.
I have too. Unfortunately for me, my wife is a gym, and she says, whatever you want, go ahead, do it. But she knows I'm going to do it anyway. So.
Yeah,
That's just the way of the world, anyways. So,
that's funny.
well, everybody needs to go out if they want to see some exciting videos. Your YouTube channel is Savannah Harps,
Yep.
and you primarily beach, but you do some relic hunting. And if they want something that's just an exciting channel from the time you open till the time you close, your channel certainly fits the bill. And I'm very, very glad that I discovered it and subscribed to it because I look forward to your videos.
Thank you very much. It's more than than you could say. I don't know that I live up to all that, but I
Well, you
try very
do.
hard, and I really believe the Lord helps me find these things that
He
I
does.
find.
And that was my next comment, Brian. One of the things that I admire most at watching your videos is when you have a good discovery. We're never in this alone. Never.
Mm-mm.
He's always there with us. And uh, when I'm out on the beach, that's when I do a lot of speaking with my Lord. And if it's His will for me to find something, I'll find it. If it's not, I don't. So that's something that impressed me a great deal with your videos, and I want to thank you for that. Also, with the
You.
kiddos, they're some cuties now. I'm telling you.
they they get in some of the videos sometimes. It's they enjoy the beach.
Well,
we have fun.
kids do, they're going to go out and run and zig and zag and all that kind of stuff. But
Yeah,
the thing I noticed with those your children of yours, they're very polite and well mannered, and they're just all around good kids.
thank you. But
So it
yeah.
shows you fetched them up good.
Yeah, the job's not done yet.
No, it never is.
We're working on it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's all we can do. So, what's next for Savannah Harps?
Well, I've got um I've got some stuff coming up, of course, with the Equinox 900, and hopefully the Manicore comes in pretty soon. So
Hmm.
there's going to be some learning curve with everything with both those machines, really. So I will be doing some testing with that, and obviously taking it to the beach quite a bit. So expect much more beach footage, and of course I've got plenty of relic footage as well. Uh, there's I kind of save the relic footage for when I don't have any beach, or
Hmm.
when I feel like there needs to be a change. Just a little bit of a break from
Yeah,
all the beach. Um, because I mean, even when I'm relic hunting, it really is. It boils down to God's will. Am I going to find something or not find something? It really is. I mean,
it
I
is.
100% fully believe that. Um, I've found, and there'll be videos coming up, some things that were a big surprise that I found them and where I found them. Like, why was this here?
I
It's
agree.
like, this is amazing.
It is. It is indeed.
Yeah.
Well, Brian, it was just an absolute pleasure talking with you tonight. I know everybody out there is going to go subscribe to your channel because they want exciting videos. And I know there's a lot more coming our way from Savannah Harps. And we hope that soon you'll come back and give us an update.
No problem. It sounds great.
Good to see you, Brian. And
You
thank
too.
you. God bless. And give those kids a hug for us, will you please?
I will. And a kiss.
And keep them coming.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks, Brian.
All right, Jeff. Have a good day.
Bye bye. Outstanding individual, just outstanding individual. I can't say enough good about Brian and Savannah Harps. Exciting videos, a good person, a great father. Do yourself a favor and subscribe to Savannah Harps and watch their videos. Now, our next guests, what can be said about these people? They are top notch, 100% the quill. We love them. And let's bring on Team Lynch. Hello there.
How we
There we
doing?
are.
Yep.
How you doing?
Good.
We're
Good to see you
good.
again. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. So what's going on in the world of Team Lynch besides finding all kinds of goodies?
Well, besides listening to Brian is he's like at 278 rings or something this year, and
Oh yeah, he does great.
amazing. We're at 90 something this year
Yeah,
only.
yeah.
So, it's like wow. He's
It depends on the area where you get to hunt.
oh yeah, we understand that. Yep.
He's hunting Tybee Island, which is a huge tourist area as well, and he's very accomplished. So yeah, he has some really good luck.
Yeah, you just watch him.
Really
You,
good luck.
you know he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Well, you guys do too. So
yeah, no, we do well for ourselves. We hunt up and down the Jersey coast. We hunt mostly close to our house, of course. But New Jersey's different. Northern part of the state, steep slopes, a lot of sand. Southern part of the state, flat. Flat, much more siltier, heavier sand. It's totally different hunting.
Mhm.
Are are they replenishing your beaches?
Yeah, constantly. Yep. They move up and down.
These
Sometimes it's a good
people,
thing.
they need to use their heads, I think, and realize Mother Nature's going to take care of all that stuff.
Yep.
It's been for how many eons?
Oh yeah.
Back in the 1700s, they didn't beach replenish. But the beaches are still there, and it has cycles. That's why they have hurricanes and storms, and they need to leave well enough alone. If you want to hug a tree, go out to California and wrap your arms around a redwood. Leave us alone.
Yeah, it definitely kind of ruins things.
Yeah.
We both used to scuba dive. The shipwrecks they covered over with 30 feet of sand. I mean, there's be all types of fish life on there to kill all that fish life.
I know. It's ridiculous.
Mhm.
Gosh, I hate it. I know our friend Terry Shannon just, he's beside himself sometimes. What they're doing on the Treasure Coast. I've been down there to hunt, and they're pounding, 5, 6, 7, 10, 12 feet of sand from the interior of the state on those beaches.
Yeah, at least
That's
I'm pumping them from off the shore. So,
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, you've got enough to deal with, with the amount of detectorists out there, and
yeah, we get a lot of detectors. This time we hunt all winter, so which is nice because it's cold, but there's less detectors out there. Only the hardcore out there now. So
yeah.
which is nice.
There are fair weather detectorists, I call them.
Yep.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and a good number of them from up here have moved down to your area for the
I
next.
know. Trust me, I know.
Some of them are friends of ours.
Yeah.
Well, if they're friends of yours, they're okay. But there's some of them, just stay up there, will you?
We hunted down there. We hunted down in Collier County this summer. We were down there. We stayed. My brother's got a place. We stayed down there, and we had a good time hunting.
Yeah.
I drowned my Equinox. Needless to say,
Is 800.
So-
It happens. I had 4 of them go bite the dust.
yeah, I hope
Hopefully they've got it figured out, and I think they do.
Yeah,
I
I
hope
hope.
they
I had
do.
I had the Manicore pre-ordered, and they weren't showing anything about it in the water. They took it from whatever feet to 20 feet or whatever they took it to. I was like, why didn't they take it to at least 1 atmosphere, 33 feet? I kind of thought they should do, but they didn't.
I agree. Everything I've seen on the Manticore is relic hunting.
Yep.
If you want to really know about the Manticore, hit up Surfside Dan. He can give you some, insight on it.
I was reading his comments. He has some good insight.
Surfside Dan's he's a smart dude, and he'll tell you straight too.
So I canceled my pre-order, and we went out and bought 2 legends because we wanted to go to Florida or somewhere and have machines we could definitely put underwater. Plus, we get enough people on the beach come up all the time asking you, "Hey, can you go find something?" And they're like, "I'll go out there up to a point," but now I'm afraid to put my Noxes in there in the water.
Especially if it's out of warranty. You go, I ain't doing that. That's why I divested myself of the Mind Lab Equinox. I just, it was just too many times you take it in and boom, it floods, and then the coils fall off. And I never had any problem with the arm cuff, but I had enough problems with it. And I have had the XP Deus 2 in the water probably as much as I had the Equinoxes, and I have not had the first problem.
Yeah, my friend Gerard Ganner was pushing me on that. The only thing I didn't like about it, I picked it up on the beach one day. Somebody let me use it. I didn't like the shaft originally. I thought
if you're a little taller, you probably wouldn't like the shaft because it will wobble a little bit.
Yeah, it had wobble on it. I didn't like it.
But I don't have that problem. I'm a runt, so I don't have to extend it that far. So I never really had a problem with the XP Deus 2 shaft. But knowing all the people that I know and having Steve make me this shaft, and I got Detect Ed making me a Deus 2 shaft, carbon fiber. So
they both make great shafts.
Oh yeah, killer shafts. So Steve will be on Treasure Talk on this coming Monday. We'll be talking about this.
Nice.
and Detect Ed will be on by the end of the month. So I think I probably have a Detect Ed shaft. It's in transit. And the thing I like about both of those guys, with Steve, he'll customize it however you want it. I really like the cam locks they use.
Yep.
I don't like these buttons. You know, the buttons you push and they.
Yeah. Neither do I.
I don't like those. I don't like the cam locks you got to turn, especially if you're a beach hunter or a water hunter, as you guys would agree.
Yeah.
Yep.
They twist.
There's no way you're not going to get sand in the shaft. There's just no way.
Mhm.
And Detect Ed came out with that little hole in the shaft that would drain. So that was a killer. And on my Equinoxes, I had Detect Ed shafts, and just outstanding product from both those guys. So
Yeah, they're terrific shafts. Yep.
yeah. So with the Legend, they did a top-notch job on that product too.
Oh, the Legend is built. Picked that up in my hand the first time. I was like, it's built like a tank. You know,
Yeah.
It is. That was my first impression.
oh, it's such a difference. It's like they did it right. You know, the build quality the first time around. The only
I
problem
agree.
we have one problem is the grip is a little too wide for her hands.
Oh, okay.
Gloves on, she has a hard time wearing gloves, but she's gonna wear it, take it in the water more and stuff. So, but
Yeah.
I'm happy with it.
I mean, if that's the only problem she has with it,
Yeah, exactly. I've been playing with my settings on it. I took it up. We go hunt Raritan Bay, a lot of iron, but there's a lot of old gold and old coins up there and stuff.
Yeah.
And it didn't do great. I mean, it did good, but I thought my 800 was smidge better. But I also know my 800, so.
well, that's the thing.
On a regular beach, though, it's been doing really well with rings and stuff. I mean,
Yeah.
I went to a spot that we've been over many times with my Knox, and it was pulling targets out left and right. That I know I had swung over with before.
The great thing about Nocta with the Legend, with the coils they got coming for it.
Yes, I saw that. Yes, I was kind of chomping at the bit. I seen the new coils.
Yeah.
They're really good. So
Yeah, and that's one thing I really admire about Dillick and the people at Nocta, because they listen to what you have to say.
Yep.
And there's not a lot of them that do that, I have to tell you. And you know that as well as I do.
Yeah, that's
just,
some people don't.
the same thing with my lad, when they were having everybody breaking arm cuffs and all of them flooding, and automatically it was your fault because you didn't change your washer. I mean, tell me a Western, because you just told me a science fiction. You know what I'm saying? Because I changed my washers and all that kind of stuff. So it was a design flaw, I think. Now, as far as working, the Equinox worked great. But my first impression when I first put an Equinox in my hand, where I went, whoa, this is kind of like a toy.
Yeah.
Yep. And when I saw the Legend the first time, I agree with you 100%. I said, this thing's built like a tank.
Yeah.
So she'll get her hand around it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We also have,
the third or fourth gold ring.
We also have Vanquishes too.
Right.
Yeah.
They're built more like toy, but they're a good machine for the money. We're kind of impressed with those. So sometimes we don't want to take everything. We just come down really small, take them with us, and not worried about them getting stolen out of car. They're not that expensive, So, and they work well, So
yeah, I mean, it's just like we were talking with Brian, and I'm sure you agree that with everything that's out there now for metal detectors that is available, and I'm including the Manticore in it. It will be out soon.
Yep.
And it's on the high end, but you run the whole gambit from low end to high end. The one that wins is the consumer.
Yes.
Let MindLab and Nocta and XP let them battle it out as they will. And who wins? We do.
Right. But it doesn't matter what you buy; you're getting a good machine.
Yeah. That's right. And the one thing you said that is really important that people don't realize, you said that you found a little bit. You gave a nod to your Knox because you knew it.
Yes.
Right.
Exactly. Yep.
And as you become more familiar with your legend, I think you will find. Now, a good friend of mine, John David, he got a legend, and happens to be the one that we created the Blue Spade Society for. He is getting used to his legend, and he's finding stuff that he never found with his knocks.
Yeah, as I said, I went a couple days on the beach and found things I, I know I went over it with my knocks. This was stuff that's been there all summer. It's been there now deep, and I went over it with my knocks, with my 800. So it's like,
so
okay, same with the knocks, but
And I know people ask you guys all the time, well, what detector should I buy? What's the best detector? Well, the best detector for you is not necessarily the best detector for them.
Exactly.
Like me, I like my XP Deus too, but I've got years of experience, and I had years of experience with the Deus 1. So there's a difference there. For somebody coming right out of the box going with the Deus 2, I wouldn't recommend that.
Yeah.
Get some time on the beach or in the dirt and learn your machine a little bit.
Yeah. That's what I'm doing. I'm playing with my legends, reading, watching videos, playing with my settings, and it's really a good machine. You can really do a lot with it. I like what you can do with your adjustments and stuff, and learn how to dial it in more for gold or
Yeah, I think you're exactly right. It is a customizable machine, wouldn't you say?
Yep. Yes, absolutely.
And as well as I do, because you hunt different beaches. Every beach is different.
Yep.
And if you go inland, it's completely different.
Yep.
So the good thing that I like about the Deus 2, and I think that you really like about the Legend, is boom, you can change it on the fly and customize it to where you're at and what you're doing.
Exactly. That's exactly what you have to do. I'll go some beaches, you go to the same beach. One day you have great signals. Next day you go back, you got every target has iron grunt behind it.
Yep.
That's the composition of it. And you got to be able to pick that out with your ear, not so much the VDI, and dig those targets. You hear a little different in there, or sounds a little better. And it's amazing how it changes from even certain beaches change from week to week. So,
and sometimes it changes during the time you're on the beach.
Yep.
Different areas of the beach will, have a different. If you get next to a pier, for instance, you're going to have to deal with some EMI.
Yep.
For these, because the piers used to be you just walk out there to fish. Now they got all these restaurants and all that other kind of stuff on them.
Yep. So, adjusting. Sometimes we got to do a multi, whatever we got to do to get in certain places. So, which is nice because sometimes other people won't hunt there; they won't drop out of multi.
Right.
Sit there. So
people say, "Oh, there's so many people on the beach." That there is, and there's a lot of people metal detecting now. But the kicker is, a lot of them watch too many videos and discriminate out too much.
Yes.
And they're VDI hunters.
Yeah.
It always slays me, and I know you guys get this all the time. That you'd be talking to somebody in England, and I found a gold coin. Well, what'd that ring up? What was the VDI number? What difference does it make? You're not in England, you're in Kansas. So I think there's a little bit of difference in the soil. And it, so, and they go, oh, well, if it rang up, 79 on the Legend, well, I'm going to dig all 79s. If it was 76, I'm not going to dig it.
Yeah, it means nothing.
And they discriminate out. Well, I don't want to dig pull tabs. So they notch all this stuff out. And how much stuff do you notch out when you notch out pull tabs?
Yeah.
Not much.
I have found many a wave ring in the pull tab range.
Oh, you betcha. I mean, I just didn't say a nasty word when I dig a pull tab, but I'll dig them every time.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, we dig it. We dig out. I'll go all metal. I'll dig a lot of targets. Now, certain times I'll get into card and I'll just listen to the tone a little bit, listen to how it sounds, whether I want to dig it or not. But a lot of times, the first thing I'll do is when I get on the beach, I'll dig garbage tones.
Well, yeah, you have to because you never know.
and that helped me get a quick idea of how the beach is set up for that day. And here's the iron. Here's a target that isn't iron, but was reading it bad. Because sometimes your VDIs are off every certain times on the beach. So I'll dig a lot of trash targets when I first start up to help me dial in quicker.
Yeah, because you never know what's down there with that target.
No.
Yep. Yeah.
Like the Deus 2 is really good. I've dug a number of really good targets that have had a piece of iron in with it.
Yeah.
But you can hear the target in there where a lot of people just pass it by, So I'm on the beach. I got this big scoop. Let me put a couple scoops on it and see. 50% of the time it's a bunch of junk, but that other 50% of the time could be something good. So
yeah. Yesterday we were hunting. We were hunting black sand all day yesterday. And Kathy pulled a silver dime, and I got a ring, so we were happy. But you had to make some adjustments so all that black sand there.
Right.
Sure you do. Sure you do. Yeah, I think the Legends are pretty good at that.
Yep.
I'm not sure about the new Noxes, if they're going to be good at that or not. The Equinox 800, it was okay, but you get it in some black sand, it got really chattery in my experience. Now my Deus 2, I can adjust that down where it just, no problem with the black sand. But
I had a problem in the black sand yesterday with my 600.
Sometimes you got to turn your sensitivity down. Everybody likes to run sensitivity high. It's not always the best.
No, it's not. It's not. Because even if you're running your sensitivity on a Nox, if you're running it down at 15, 16, you're still getting down 7 or 8 inches easy.
Yes.
So you're getting plenty of depth.
Yes.
And like I say, the problem with the Deus 2 is sometimes that sucker's too deep. I don't want to dig that big a hole. You're swaying and go down there. You're expecting somebody from Wuhan to come up and give you COVID. You're digging so deep. Woo!
A lot of times I find when I go land hunt, because I got a big beach scoop. I'm always going down as deep as I can and try to pull stuff out from down deep. I'll dig with my shovel as deep as I can. There's no reason for it. I just need to go a little bit down and pop it out, But it's just my habit.
With me, I'm so damn fat that I get on top of the shovel. I can't just go halfway. I gotta go.
Yeah. I usually stay down.
It gets down there. It's coming up. I'll refill the hole.
That's funny.
So, what's next for Team Lynch?
Well, we plan to go back to Florida this summer.
Yep.
We did come out swinging. I'd like to go away, call it that, in the spring. A couple of those little hunts like that, but we want to turn around and we want to focus a little more on quality beaches over quantity beaches. The last couple of years we went, we hunted, went for a ring count and that, but we started hunting quality beaches. Thank you, Gerard Gannon. Gerard Gannon is a local Jersey hunter, really sharp, really knows his stuff.
Oh,
Yeah.
And, he's always pushes us on doing the quality beaches. And we went to quality beaches this summer. When we did, we found some nice stuff. You don't get many targets, but you get some really nice stuff. Less people there, better targets. So
found a platinum ring and he was able to return it.
And we've been hunting some older sites too. We're hunting parts of Raritan Bay that are older, and I got some other spots I don't want to talk about.
So when you come to Florida, where are you going?
Well, we'll be down by Marco. We're definitely going to be. We're going to make sure we stop in though, and we got to get to go see the shop with Phil. So
yeah,
we're going to stop
there. Getting down by Marco now since the hurricane. I know Fort Myers has just been obliterated.
Yep.
I would probably leave Fort Myers beaches alone for a couple of years. Because it was devastating down there. Naples, to a certain degree, got hit as well. Go up get a little farther north. Venice is good. All around, Tampa, St. Pete. I love those beaches.
Yeah, well, I would. We wanted to hunt to like Tampa, St. Pete area too, and it's a matter of having enough time to get there and hit there because we're staying down there by Marco, but we'd like to come up, on the way down, stop and stay a night or two over and hunt up there, So
well, what you do is you let me know when you're coming. I'll plan a trip down there And what we do, we get 2 or 3 people coming along, and I usually stay right there in Treasure Island. Phil I get him over there, and we have a little cookout, and we have a hunt, and a few libations, and tell a bunch of lies and stuff.
Yeah.
So just hit us up when you're down there. We'll get together and we'll do some hunting.
That we will, Jeff. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it.
It'll be great. It'll be great. I hope you guys had a great Christmas and are planning on a safe New Year's.
Yes, sir. We are.
Yeah,
Yep.
we are.
Yep. Yeah, we're not having.
New detectors and stuff.
We got those already.
Yeah, we
got them.
Yeah,
I hate to
Instead of one mana cord, I decided to get 2 legends and save $500 on top of it. So
Hey, heck yeah, why not?
yeah,
The lady's going to get it done for you. That way you each have one, and get yourself a good scoop, and you're off to the races and ready to go.
Yep.
Yep.
Yes, sir. Yep.
Well, it won't be long. We'll have the whole team Nocta on Treasure Talk. We're going to have Dillick, we're going to have Burak, we're going to have Dwight and Kimmy. So that's Team Nocta, all
Nice.
in the same show. So that ought to be a goodie.
Yeah, they're good people, So
Great folks. Great folks. So we hope that you will join us, and we thank you so much, Tim and Kathy, for joining us tonight.
yes, sir.
And I
Always.
hope you have a great New Year.
You too. Happy New Year, everybody.
Be safe. And
Thank you.
everybody get out there and subscribe to Team Lynch Beach Metal Detecting. Their YouTube channel is outstanding. You'll get to learn some stuff.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.
Happy hunting. Yep.
We'll talk at you later.
You got it. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Like I told you, it was a great show tonight. I hope that you enjoyed it. I certainly enjoyed it. The guests that we had tonight, Brian and Savannah Harps is another very, very exciting channel for you to subscribe to. Wonderful fella. Very accomplished, makes some really good finds. And Team Lynch, another outstanding YouTube channel. Just great folks. It doesn't get any better than these people. And if you got questions, go over to their YouTube channels, send them a message, ask them the questions. If they've got an answer, they will be happy to share it with you. They don't hold anything back. Just some of the most giving people on the planet. So make sure that you go over and subscribe to Team Lynch and also to Savannah Harps. And, it's just great folks. So just kind of give you a little preview of what's coming on Treasure Tales. Now, Treasure Talk Monday night will be, I'll give you a little rundown of January on Treasure Talk, and then we'll talk about Treasure Tales before we go. Okay. In January 2nd will be Steve's Detector Rods. That's coming up Monday night. You don't want to miss that one. And then we'll have Cornucopia. He's been on before, Richard. He owns a big coin store in Tampa. Super knowledgeable. I think that's one that you'll definitely want to see. And then we got Dig Stock coming up on the 16th. Mumbles Man and myself will be at Dig Stock this year. We're looking forward to that. And then we got on the 23rd, Butch is back with American Digger Magazine. Always a thrill with Butch. And then at the 30th, we're going to have Detect Ed. Ed's going to be here from Detect Ed. And we'll talk about the new Deus 2 shafts and everything that's coming new from Detect Ed. And from what I understand, he's got a lot of really cool stuff in the works. As far as Treasure Tales, January 5th, it's going to be Berks County Metal Detectors, and Bajira is going to be on the show. And on the 12th, we're going to have Big Poppy, Joe Vizzi, a very good, close personal friend of mine, and Diggin' Duo will be on. And then we're going to have on the 19th, we're going to talk with the Key Date Kid from Excalibur Shovels. And on the 26th, it's going to be Digologist and Dime Detective, and probably Doug Odette, Prospector. So we got a lot of good stuff coming up in January. It's going to be a new year, 2023, and I think everybody's looking forward to the new year. Have a really good year. I hope that everybody gets everything they want, got everything they wanted for Christmas. I hope that when you get out there and start swinging for the new year, that you find every bucket lister you've ever wanted to find, and then some, and share your knowledge with those that need to learn a few things. So we just hope that everybody is safe and sound, had a great Christmas time, and just be safe this New Year's. You know, if you don't have to go anywhere, stay at home, enjoy each other, and watch some YouTube videos. Watch Savannah Harps and watch Team Lynch. That's a good New Year's Eve, I think. So we will see you in the new year for Treasure Talk and Treasure Tales. We are very glad that you chose to spend some time with us this this past year in 2022. It's been an eventful year all around. I think it's going to be a really good year in 2023 for the metal detecting community, and I look forward to sharing it with every one of you. So we thank you for watching and joining us. Have a safe and happy new year, and happy hunting, everybody, and dig deeper. Good night, everybody.